Hey everyone, this is projecteae here with another figure review. Today we'll be looking at the Revoltech Jehuty from the ZOE series. It is number 103 in the Yamaguchi line. Comes with a very, very large assortment of accessories. Well, not large, but there's a lot of them, or there's a decent amount. Has a very large stand, as you can see from there, and has great articulation. But we can go more into that as we delve in. There's a lot to cover, so let's get into it. So we'll get into the accessories first. First off, we have double elbow joints, good, and also arm extensions, so good for hack and slash poses. We have 3 sets of hands. Normally, we have a closed fist. We have a kind of grasping claw kind of look. Then we have a straight prone kind of look, or pointing style. Nothing really different from the typical Revoltech hands, except, since Jehuty does have what appears to be double thumbs, even though it's 5 fingers, that's notable. We have a pair of wing effect parts for when it's in flight mode. We have a pair of lower leg pieces for when it's in flight mode, so when it's not standing like it is up there right now. Yes, it is able to stand even though it has no feet. Amazing, right? This is the extended version of the blade. And then, of course, right now it's got the prone version, or I guess not active version. We have an effect part for its thrust shield version. What's the best way to describe it? It could be a slash effect part, or it can be the barrier appearance when it's Jehuty is actually using its thrust across the screen, and it looks like it's pushing the environment around it. We have another hand as well. This one is notable, very specific, because it's actually good for grabbing items, and this is a Revoltech container. And the joint on it, it's not actually a Revoltech joint, actually. It's so they can hold it stably. And it's just a simple peg. So, very cool. We have a very large stand with the radar ring, just like the game. So, very cool. And multiple extensions, standard Revoltech base. Very cool. And then, of course, we have the figure itself. So, we'll get into the figure now. And here we are in the main actual part of the review here, which is for the main figure of Jehuty itself. It's a wonderful figure, has great sculpt. Very articulate, as you would expect from any Revoltech figure. And of course, like most modern Revoltech figures, there's a very good amount of actual Revoltech joints versus doll cut joints, swivel joints, and so forth. Its look is based on the first game design, so the colors are more metallic and less matte colored. It'd be really cool if there was a way to introduce, I guess, the glowing Metatron lines throughout the sculpt. But that could be, I guess, like a special exclusive variant or something. But otherwise, it's a very wonderful and very nicely designed figure. And of course, as you can see, it can stand for the most part no problem. Although it is not a perfectly even figure in most parts, like most Revoltech figures. It's not something that can stand prone. It usually has to be spread leg or something. And of course, setting it to stand is not always the easiest thing in the world. But switching out the leg parts are pretty easy. They're just simple pegs. Switching the wing parts are very easy. You want the design of the outside thrust design parts on the outside, and the flat part of the pieces on the inside. So very easy to clip on. And it seems like this figure and other figures, as we get newer, are introducing these very, very tiny, don't know if you guys can see it, there's a very tiny Revoltech joint inside. It's smaller than this, I guess, the 8mm, which I've seen, so very, very small. I guess that just means Toyota is really, really doing their work, right? For articulation, we have this slanted shoulder joint here, but it gives you full range of motion, as you can expect. You have one swivel cut, actually, at the shoulder here, so you can actually get those wide, stretched look on the arms. You get a Revoltech in the elbow, mini Revoltech in the wrist, swivel port in the shield. No swivel for this side because it's a part swap for the blade. Tiny revel joints for the missile units here, or also used for teleportation in the second game. The hips are very interesting, in which there is a sculpted part here which keeps it from having a perfectly straight-legged pose, but otherwise kind of gives it a nice aesthetic look. So kind of tries to hide the Revoltech port. So it's kind of nice, and it's a hell lot better than a part fell out. There we go. Slide that back in. It's a lot better than the Hasbro style slanted hips, definitely. The knees, due to the design of the knee, it looks like it's all swivels. We have swivels for the actual knee bit, swivels, swivel turns, swivel on the knee thruster here. So yeah, no Revoltech. I wonder how they would put it in anyways, right? Oh, and if I didn't forget, we have a big Revoltech joint in the torso. We have one in the base, in the head to neck, and then we have what looks like a swivel in the actual base of the neck as well. Like I mentioned before, tiny Revoltech joints up here, and then also at the base of the wings we have Revoltech joints as well. So it's very articulated. The underneath in the crotch area, or I guess between, in the center of the crotch, is where you would place your Revoltech base. Had a brain fart there for a moment. Very simple, just plug in, and there you go. But with the radar in the way, it can be a hindrance to how easy it is to pose with a figure. But if you take some time and you're patient, then it's very easy to acquire a simple but a very nice looking pose. So all you have to do is just, I guess, be patient about it. It's definitely more of, some Revoltechs are easy and fun to play with. This is definitely one of the figures that's more just of really great as a display piece than anything else. Oh, and for us, and of course here's the ring, which you can take off or leave on using the special adapter piece here. If you'd like, you can actually go ahead and those missile pieces with those tiny Revoltech ports, you can actually attach via the radar ring to simulate the beams or the missile pods about to launch. You can use up to let's see, 1, 2, and I thought there was 3. 1, 2, and yeah, I guess that is it. 2, even though he has 3 units on his waist. Besides from that, also the slash mark you can actually use also effectively on the radar ring itself as well, like so. And then if you pose it at a good angle, let's drop it down like that. It kind of looks like it's got a shield deflecting thing going on, so that's kind of cool. So, but that is essentially, there's a lot of good things about this kit, but besides from that, there's even more you can do with it if you have a few extras. So, final thoughts. Would I recommend this figure? Depends. If you're a fan of Jehuty, if you're a fan of Zone of the Enders, for the press point and for the accessories, yes. It has very wonderful sculpts, especially for such a small scale. The paint apps are nice. They're not perfect, but for Revoltech figures, not too bad, especially when this is a very metallic style paint job, and we don't see some of that too often, and it's always nice when we do. The articulation is very nice. Some of the swivel joints I wish weren't so loose, but it's nothing that some nail polish or I guess super glue or something to help friction won't take care of. But I wish that was taken care of beforehand. Playability, It's nice, but it's definitely more of a display piece. So if you're a Jehuty fan, if you're a Revoltech fan, it's definitely not a bad figure to get. If you definitely like your Revoltechs more playable, I probably would get, if this would only be good if you didn't use all the accessories. But if you like all the accessories and stuff, don't expect to have the full player ability as, say, like some of the Gurren Lagann or the Getter Robo ones, since things like the radar ring are more of a display piece, definitely. And the stability of the figure, like while standing, isn't exactly the best. But it's not meant to be. It's supposed to be a in-flight kind of unit. But anyways, that is my verdict. I hope this review was helpful in some form or fashion. I hope that Anubis will come out soon, and I hope that if they re-release Jehuty again, we get maybe another paint scheme, some more accessories, that sort of thing. Stay tuned for any future videos and updates, like the update on the work in progress for Jehuty's first effect part that I'm working on. And if you want to see any more pictures or more, I guess, information, check out the blog down below in the description and stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys at the next video.